Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. In this opportunity, this video, we would like to present to you about our lesson plan and teaching material. So before we start our presentation, let me introduce the members of our group. The first one is me, Nur Rizka Kadir, and then Nur Afni Yahya, and then Nur Fathia S. Mamu. Okay, so the point of this presentation will be divided in some points. The lesson plan will be divided into 4 points. The first one is learning objectives, introduction, core activities, and then closing activities. And the last one, we will be discussing about the teaching material of this lesson plan. The first one will be delivered by my friend, Nur Afni Yahya.
Okay, this is our lesson plan, and there are subjects. The subject is English, high school students. Subject matters is narrative text or legends. Time allocations is 4 meetings. Okay, next. Okay, we are going to see the learning objectives. Okay, through learning activities with a scientific approach to the flipped classroom learning models using the WhatsApp applications, Google Classrooms, and Zoom, students can distinguish social functions, text structure, and linguistic elements of several oral and written narrative texts by giving and asking for information related to folk legends, simple according to the context of their use, and capturing meaning contextually related to social functions, text structure, and linguistic elements of simple narrative, oral and written text related to folk legends. So the students can build awareness of the greatness of God, foster disciplined behavior, honesty, active, responsive, polite, responsible, and cooperative. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is introductions. In introductions, there are several things that we have to say. First, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, beloved brother and sister. Next is pray before starting learning. And then for those who are online, we can say, please enter the Google Classroom or GCR class with the class code. And then for online ones, prepare writing stationery and learning materials that have been sent by the teacher before. And then learning objective is conveying goals and KD. And 6, wishful thinking forgot to fill in the absences. Next. Okay, this is core activities. In learning activities, there are purpose or indicator that is distinguishing the functions of sociology text, narrative, folk, legends. In meeting 1, the teacher gives greetings via voice note, instructs students, and gives instructions to join in the video conference Zoom. And then the teacher explained the purpose and KD through a video conference Zoom meeting and instructions for doing assignments. Furthermore, the teacher asks students to open Google Classroom to listen to material containing narrative text related to folk legends. And then students download the material and work on the instructions to contain in Google Classroom. The teacher monitors students by opening discussions via Google Classroom chat. And the students upload work in Google Classrooms. Next is, okay. There are goals or indicator that is explaining the receipt of the text and the elements of the magic in the narrative legends text. In second meeting, the teacher gives greetings via voice notes, invites students, and gives instruction to join in the meeting conference video. And then the teacher explains the constituents of the meeting by asking students to read the narrative legends text in Google Classroom and explain in the form of writing the structure and language element in the use of it on the text. And then students can submit question and answer through Google Classroom chat related to the work they are doing. And then furthermore, students upload the result of their work. Okay. Next will be explained by my friends, Nur Fathia S. Mamu.
Okay, thank you. I will continue the presentation. So there is objectives or indicators. Digitize the meaning contextually contained in the narrative legend text. Third meeting, the teacher gives greeting via voice note, invites students and gives instruction to join in the Zoom conference video. After that, the teacher asks students to listen to the sample narrative legend text uploaded to Google Classroom and ask students to understand the narrative text and answer questions such as those in Google Classroom or student books for which is offline. And the last is learners upload their work to Google Classroom. Next. Okay, objective or indicators: compose narrative legend text by paying attention to social function, text structures, and correct linguistic elements. Meeting 4, the teacher gives greetings via voice notes, invites students and gives instruction to join the Zoom conference video, as well as conveying learning objectives. Next, the teacher uploads a simple narrative legend text in Google Classroom and instructs a student to compile a narrative legend text, as in the example of a narrative legend historical event that occurred in Gorontalo. The last, student uploaded the task they compiled in the form of narrative legend text for the teacher to correct. Next, closing activities. So in closing activities, the teacher provides feedback on the result of students' work through Google Classroom chat. And after that, answer the questions or quiz on the Google Classroom or on the quiz sheet. And the third is the teacher asks the student to ask for the person's signature for each assignment to be uploaded on the Google Classroom. And the last, for those who are learning or studying at home, the result of work or task can be collected or handed over the cluster coordinator. Next, we have learning models, resources, and media. For learning model, we use flipped classroom. And the next is learning resources. We use video material from YouTube or home learning, handout material in the form of PowerPoint slide or modules. And the next is learning media. For learning media, we use Google Classroom, WhatsApp, quizzes, YouTube, Learning House. Next. Evaluation. Okay, first is knowledge. 1. The final test of each learning activity or submaterial in the form of deciphering question whose work is uploaded in the form of a photo. 2. The final test of each KD is in the form of multiple choice questions in the form of the quizzes application or description questions using the Google Form application. Next is skills. The final test of each learning activity or submaterial in the form of a description question, so that procedural skills, reasoning, and problem-solving skills of each student can be seen. The last one is attitude. In the daily journal, the teacher records the attitude of the learners in the activeness of discussion, the discipline of the time collecting tasks, the responsibility in completing each assigned task, and working together with the parents of the student to sign the student's assignments. Okay, next.
Thank you. Yeah. So the next one, it will be me to explain this thing. But before we dig into the teaching material, I would like to pinpoint that we can see from the lesson plan explained before that the specific teaching of narrative text focusing on legend is using task-based approach or task-based learning. So task-based approach uses a lesson structure that incorporates different activities to solve a task. And the best task-based learning activities reflect a real-life situation, so the students can see that the lesson is relevant to their own lives. Therefore, we can see at the end of the lesson, the students are obligated to finish a task to make a narrative legend text of the legend historical event that occurs in Gorontalo. Okay, so the next one we'll be talking about teaching material. The teaching materials means materials used by an instructor or a teacher, such as class notes, examinations, educational software, books, articles, laboratory manuals, books, works of visual or graphic arts, or teaching aids to explain the concepts to students or evaluate their performance. In this opportunity, we have chosen some of the teaching materials from the YouTube videos. So the YouTube videos that we have chosen is the video from Enjoy English channel with the title of Narrative Text Legends, and so many other videos we can find through YouTube. And in this class, we also decided to focus on doing independent learning for the students, and they are obligated to learn the materials before the class starts. The learning materials for the students before we begin the class are from educational software like Quipper, Zenius, and Ruang Guru that quite well known for the students and the teachers, of course. And this will make the class more interesting because the teacher and the students have basic knowledge of the topic, and the discussion will be more alive later on. All right, I think that's it for our presentation. Thank you for paying attention, and I hope you guys can learn something through our video or through our presentation, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.